Red Collective, I've got a message here for you today from Shiva himself. I don't know if you work with Shiva or if he just wants to give you a message, but before we get into his message, I am going to read you some confirmations that I had beforehand. So I was getting the word ammortize, like amortization. I was also getting the song Melissa by Pornograffiti, which was the opening song for season 1 of Full Metal Alchemist. Perhaps anime is relevant for you right now, or perhaps you're just starting a like a new season for something. Like it's just got this fresh energy to it. Another confirmation phrase: bell blossoms, hardback, quiet quitting, anger, resentment, or jealousy, the stars, and then your energy feels really dense, like a fog or a cloud when I tap into you guys. Um, Regarding the amortize, there's this feeling of you getting something and you paying for it in installments. Take that how it resonates for you. But there is this feeling of the initial cost of something being too expensive to keep up front. So you're doing it over time. This could be a metaphor for your life where you have taken certain lessons over time because you were or are going to be given something that needs to be amortized. Kind of like if you were given a house, you wouldn't, and I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 on my timer, you wouldn't be able to afford that house all up front, right? Like probably. I don't know what your money looks like collective, but most people don't have 400,000, 500, 600,000 in cash up front to pay for a house, plus all the fees and the mortgage fees and well, the property taxes and all this insurance and other things. So what you do is you amortize that over the life of the loan. So you're paying some of the cost of the house, but then also some of the fees are put in there. I'm getting this really heavy energy in my right ear collective. I did do some cleansing with some Florida water beforehand. I don't know. It's this uncomfortable heavy pressure in my right ear. I don't know if someone's talking about you. I'll have to look up what it means for the right ear pressures. I'm forgetting in this moment, but it's just, I'm gonna have to like try and cleanse it out. It just feels really uncomfortable, but I thought I would share that. So Shiva is coming through for you guys today, and this is going to be a personal message. This is going to be something that only resonates with certain people, I feel. I do have his stone out here too. I'm going to describe it to you guys. It's called a, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting? It's like a seven star healer, 7 crystal healer. It's like a super seven. Oh my gosh. Maybe you guys are forgetting something. Um, I don't know what it is, but I feel a little like scattered and all over the place and like I'm forgetting things that I want to mention. So maybe that's a bit from your energy that I'm tapping into. But there's like amethyst, there's clear quartz, smoky quartz. I think there might be selenite. There's just all sorts of different crystals that are in this Super 7 crystal. So I love working with this with Shiva because his energy is so dense and so like, how do I put it? Superfluous comes to mind, but like it's just like it's a very expansive energy he has. It's so all encompassing of many different things. So this Super 7 crystal feels really fitting for him because he is a god that encompasses so much that it's deserving he would have a crystal dedicated to him that also encompasses so much. I guess that's my thinking. And I'm seeing 333 on my timer as I say that. So yeah, I don't know why I'm sharing that with you. Perhaps you do work with Shiva, or maybe you want to work with a Super 7 crystal, but it's just one of my personal favorite stones. It's one of like the most expensive stones I'm being led to tell you. I don't know why that is relevant, but maybe it has something to do with this amortization where you're making an investment in something and you've got to pay for it in installments. Or you've received something of value that you're going to be having to pay for. Maybe it's tying into that. But yeah, so I'm going to give you Shiva's message, or rather he's going to give it. And yeah, I don't really know what to expect from him. So I will just let him do his thing. So Shiva stands before you as one does on the moon, and he shows you the various cratered surfaces of the moon. He shows you how the impressions you have made have led to better time management. He shows you how the impressions you have made have led to others' judgment of you, others' perception of you, how over time it has destroyed and eroded your sense of self-worth in some instances, where it has built and created new fantasies in others. And he cautions you now to reside within yourselves at this time, to not expect all the answers to be made clear. He doesn't want you to rush or be worried. He wants you to know all things will work out in divine timing. All things will work out as they should. Sometimes creation happens through the process of destruction. You have to trust sometimes when you are given something that it will be a blessing later, even if it is not a blessing now. Some of you perceive what you've been given as a burden in this moment, almost like being given a small child or an infant, and you have to care for this burden. And it's not a blessing or a benefit to you now because it is taking so much time, money, energy, and attention away from you, away from other things. But in time, your object will coalesce together to form a series of equations that create fantastic things on your behalf. Because as you pour that time, money, and attention into this object, into this creation, to this creature of yours, you will find it returned tenfold to you. You will find your investment well worth the time and effort, because you could pour your investment elsewhere and you would have nothing to show for it. But you're being given something of great value now because it will pay off for you soon in the future. I'm hearing the day of Thursday for some of you. I don't know if that's this Thursday or in the next 3 months, Thursday, something like that. Uh, there is a definite benefit and payoff that will be happening for you on a Thursday because of this blessing you've been given. Thursday is the day associated with abundance and with blessings and expansion. So this makes sense that your object or your dream will be coming to fruition on a Thursday. Shiva cautions you now not to be too careful with what you're doing. He says, let things be destroyed. Let things fall apart. Let destruction fall on you so that you may rise above it. He says when you avoid your rebirth, you deny the very thing that will give you equitable action. You deny the very thing that will save you from the process which you so hate. Sometimes you cling so much to a dead facade, you do not allow the birthing of new energies to save you from your current hellscape. So in this moment, you must surrender to the abstract rebirth you are being subjected to. You may not understand it at this time, what is happening, but even if it is occluded from you for the moment, you will be made clear and understanding soon in the near future. You just have to lean into it and trust all of your fears will be amortized over time. The value will be amortized over time. You'll be given a lump sum object up front. Maybe this is a payment for some of you. Maybe it's an investment for some of you or a settlement. You have to trust that this money or this object, this dream coming your way is to be trusted for you and to be paid out to you in increments over time, not to use it or spend it all in one place, but be mindful that it is meant to sustain you for a long period of time. Don't be afraid of the size of the object either, because this is well due to you for your efforts recently. Need to not be afraid to swing the sword and shatter the boulder, because the opal that's contained within is more valuable than this large boulder that you perceive to have great value before, but was just an empty object. You have attributed great value to something that is large and unbecoming. You have created a shelter out of this large and unbecoming thing, thinking that that was the most value you would be able to withstand from it. But when you shatter it and create a smaller, more pure object from it, that object inside is worth significantly more, even though its weight is significantly less. You are alchemizing something large and foreboding and forbidding and dark in your life right now, something that to others would seem very impressive, very large, and you are trading it for something smaller. Maybe this is a simpler lifestyle. Maybe this is for something that's easier to carry, easier to manage. You are shrinking your debts. You're shrinking into a place of more sustainability. He says it is significantly easier to carry the opal across the desert than the large boulder whence it came from, which you perceive to have more value. He says some of you perceived inside this boulder there to be a larger object of value, but you must remember that good things come in small packages. The value you have assigned to the large thing is not necessarily reflective of its worth. You perceive a value in a large thing because you see its potential. But you see potential where there is none. You perceive potential where there is no absolute guarantee of return on investment. You are essentially gambling on your fate in this case. And so when you gamble on your fate, you leave it to the winds of chance what your destiny shall be. But I am helping you to crack open this investment in front of you and reveal the truth, reveal the reality of what it truly is and what it is to be for you, for now, and for the future, and for all eternity. Your life will be forever changed from the cracking open of this thing, because behold, you perceive a loss where I foresee a gain for you. You are gaining from cracking this large investment open into a smaller one because it's more valuable, it is more durable, more transportable. The opal may be worth $500 in your hand, where that large boulder was only worth 100, but you perceived its value greater. Now try shipping the rock. Now try moving the rock. Now you can see how the rock has its disadvantages. And though you dreamed there may be many opals and many sapphires and rubies, diamonds coalesced inside, the reality is that this large boulder was only able to create a single opal for you, but that is enough to fuel your future, because now you understand the hydroponics of it. You understand how to create your own opals going forward. You can create a farm of opals. You can create as much wealth, as much abundance, as much beauty in your life as you desire. But you have to let go of this invisibility that you had before. You hid behind this giant boulder thinking that it would save you. You hid behind this giant boulder thinking that it was a wise investment and that others would respect you for it. But I have come to shatter this boulder and to reveal the expectations you had placed upon it, you had placed within it, without even realizing it. I've come to shatter your expectations so that you may hope anew, because you are trapped so long as you have such a large and difficult to maneuver boulder in your life. Your life is not meant to be constrained by this large boulder. This boulder consumes your time, your money, your energy, your affection, your attention, all aspects of your being. And this boulder does garner praise from others, but is the hollow praise of others who only perceive the boulder for its strictly outward appearance. You need to perceive the inside of the boulder. You must surround yourself with people who are not impressed with the size of your boulder, but the value of the items you have created, by the hidden gemstones within the works of art that you release. So now, dear soul, you reach inside to grasp out this boulder, the single opal that shall be your salvation, that shall be your guiding light. This shall sustain you for many months now, this beautiful opal. This shall give you hope and strength anew, whatever new project henceforward that you are endeavoring on. You have left behind old ways of being in order to be new. You have decided that the old life you were living was not the one that you should be living. It is the one that is for the past. It was a stepping stone to get here to your bright future. I see now spread before us a large garden, and in this garden is a beautiful place for you to rest your head, rest your shoulders, rest your tired eyes. You have worked and traveled so far and so long, dear soul, you don't even remember what rest feels like. But the tiny opal in your hand remembers, because this opal rested in the rock for many centuries before you found the rock. You think that you created the rock, but the rock was only ever placed in your pathway to help be a stepping stone for you. And when the time comes, and that the rock is revealed to contain the valuable opal, it shall be your leading salvation, so that this item, this object can save you and can prevent you from wasting any more time on the large rock, which was not meant to proceed with you for the rest of your journey. You are meant to be in guidance in accordance with the universe, dear soul. You are meant to follow your heart's wisdom, not the wisdom of elders or the wisdom of youngins or the wisdom of others, but the wisdom of your heart's soul, the wisdom of your intuition. You are meant to connect deeply with it and share things with the world that no one has ever seen before. No one can tell you your path, dear soul, because no one has walked it before you. You chose to walk it alone in this lifetime, and yet now we would like to assist you in this walk. I see now the image of a stork spread before me, or a Japanese crane perhaps, and this image sticks with you, dear soul, signifying that you are bringing to life a new creation from this becoming. You have dance and whimsy now alighting fiercely within your soul. There's a need for passion to die out and calmness to replace this energy. You must carefully shepherd your belongings, shepherd your becoming with this stone. This stone is meant to guide you and is meant to lead you. You must allow it to do so, no matter what anyone else may say. You will meet other people, other leaders who tell you that your path is wrong, your path is not the correct way. That is because they walk a different path, and in their eyes, they are correct. They are not giving you advice for your path, though. They are giving you advice based on their path. So, in their eyes, they are true. They are telling you that your path is wrong. It will not lead you to the destination, but that is because they assume the knowing of your destination, where I perceive the knowing of your destination can be had by no one but you. So when you discount this advice, take it with a grain of salt that these people try to help, but ultimately are unable to help because their path is so distinct, so unique, so different from yours. They are correct in their eyes, and yet they are wrong in yours. This is how it is possible for two truths to be simultaneously both truth and lie, depending on the perception of the perceiver. You must allow yourself to fall into these truths, dear soul. You must allow yourself to fall into the listening of this and reflect deeply upon it. You must take the opal from your chest and place it in the sky and worship it as one does the Mother Teresa, the guiding light that would teach us all the great kindness that it is to incarnate on the earth and help others in our soul mission. You must look towards this as a guiding light on your mission and have it help you no matter what happens, no matter what other people may say. It will be a kindness to you. You may pray to this opal. You may pray to this beautiful vision you have of the east and the west and the stars and the sky. You will become one with the universe as you realize your goal and your destiny. It was never really as serious as anyone made it out to be. Once you enter the flow state of being, you will recognize that there are so many others in flow states of being around you. When you are in your soul state of being, you are creating, you are in perfect harmony with the universe. And as such, the universe will bless you in accordance with your harmony level. As you crack open the giant boulder and revealed this tiny opal, behold, you too shall crack open your heart and reveal the tiny opal that was hidden within your heart the whole time. The size of your heart was never the issue. It was always a container for the beauty within, for the creation of something greater than within. Let not size be the determiner of your destiny. Your path is neither too small nor too big for you. It is just right. It is just perfect. Allow yourself now the amortization of your needs spread out over time so that you can withstand the greatness of your journey. If all your blessings arrive at once, you will be so overwhelmed with grief and joy you won't know what to do with yourself. So stand calmly, dear soul, and listen to my advice that I give you in the wholehearted, earnest attempt to save you from the destitution of fighting with your destiny. There is no need for conflict. There is no need for fighting in your destiny. When you have one such as I to lead you, when you have one such as I whom you can rely on, your destiny lay before you in a beautiful array of colors now. And just as an opal do you shine just as diligently, just as multicolored, just as multifaceted, dear listener. Now, in your eyes, you perceive merely a dull opal at this time. But I promise you that in time, you will become able to see yourself as a divine listener, divine soul, who is able to manifest the life of their dreams. You will see that it is so small, this world around you that you once confined yourself to. You will wonder how you ever ceased to do it. You will wonder how you ever stopped being amazed by the mundane around you and started embracing divinity. You will wonder why it took you so long to get here because your life flows so easily now. I see a small baby crocodile in the Nile, and it is swimming along, and it is showering others in praises as it dances, and its jet black center of the eyes are like little slits in the world. And inside these slits of the eyes, you perceive the eternity of the universe. You can see the cycling of life within those sharp, dark eyes. Even though this crocodile is but a youth right now, it will grow into something larger, stronger, and stranger than it has ever been before. Yet the crocodile is not scared of its becoming. The crocodile is not afraid to leave behind its former self and embrace something new, because the crocodile understands that its current form only ever serves as the evolutionary stage for its next form. This is why crocodiles are never in contradiction from themselves, even though they change shape over time, as many animals do. It's because they understand deep down the true nature of their soul is not defined by their outward appearance. It is not reflected in their accomplishments. They simply exist. And in the state of their existence, they accomplish all that they need to. You too, dear listener, must learn to exist in the state of your existence and must learn to tolerate the state of your nearness so that you can acquiesce to visions far beyond your present eyesight. Your eyes do not belong to you alone, but to the divine, and the divine peers out through them so as to inspect the surrounding landscape. And the divine can issue guidance to you in accordance with what your vision lay before you. When we perceive something dangerous in your reality, we can behold it, we can remove it, we can adjust it, we can give you instructions to do the same. The amount of our assistance to you is in accordance with what we perceive necessary for your journey. Or if you should request assistance from us, then we may offer additional aid. We'll seek to never intrude upon your free will, dear collective, because you are the ones who ultimately decide how fast your path progresses. And though You may wish in one moment for infinite progress and to obtain, obtain, obtain. Then in the next moment, you may wish for the change of pace, for it to slow down. So we seek never to assume that we can know your future desires. And that is why it is not a lack of assistance you are provided from the divine at times, but it is more a reckoning. It is more a readjustment as we calibrate ourselves to your needs. If you would like us to walk more closely with you, we shall. If you would like us to step back more, we shall. In loathing at times, because we would like to provide more assistance, but with the understanding that you are ultimately the dictator of your own path, we will respect this authority. And so is such that if you find yourself in trouble, you may always call out to us, the divine, for assistance in such times, and trust that all things are working out for you. As you increase your level of discomfort, as you increase your tolerance for disrespect and for dissolution around you, you are able to enter a state of manifestation that few are able to achieve, because so many people are tied into the egoic aspects of manifestation, whereby they manifest things to make themselves feel good in the moment. But sometimes manifestation is about bringing things into a reality that you would rather remain unseen. Sometimes manifestation is about creating opportunities for us to heal the state within. When there is pus within the wound, it cannot simply be alchemized into the body, but it must be expunged, it must be healed and expelled. Manifestation works much the same way, whereby the healing of the body sometimes boils rise to the surface to expel energies and darkness within us that is not congruent with our light-based, light-oriented goal. So listener, do remind yourself at times you must expel the darkness from within yourself so that you may achieve your manifestations, so that you may jump into your higher timeline. Because without such jumping capabilities, you will find yourself quite stagnant, quite stuck in the present timeline. You will find yourself unable to alchemize your truths. You will find yourself unable to reckon with why one thing which appeared true at one point in time has now become a false reality, and why another thing which appeared false at one time is now the true reality. Just remember, dear listener, there is no such thing as truth or false or light or dark. They're all merely perspectives, merely gradients and shades along a large path in life that, depending upon your orientation, there is very little you can do to change your perception of it. If you are stuck at gray level 3, you will always perceive gray level 2 to be a lighter shade than gray level 4. Yet, if you ascend to gray level 1, you will perceive all other grays as too dark. You will perceive white as the next brightest shade, whereby white looks down at you as a shade of gray. As you can see, listener, you ascend and descend along these polarities throughout your life, and you ascend and descend into various stages of light and darkness according to your needs and time of the journey. As you are navigating your scale of life, dear soul, in this universe, you will find that at times you need to navigate on a gray scale operative in operation. You will need to ascend to a lighter scale for certain parts of your journey, but you will need to descend to a darker, lower scale for others. It is not inherently evil or bad that you do this. It is necessary. If we are to confront the frequency waves which need healing, we must alchemize to that aspect within ourselves so that we can approach it, we can have conflict with it, and we can heal it. Because if your sword is always swinging over the wound, it can never be open. Therefore, must you adjust your vibrational frequency and therefore your sword swing to be the correct frequency to engage with the things within yourself needing alchemization. As such, becoming darker for certain situations or certain self-work and healing aspects is necessary and healthy and important on your journey, as it is to become lighter for certain aspects, certain trauma work, but all in accordance with your own journey, dear listener. You need to let go of the concept you have of light and dark. It is not about light and dark, but about the swinging of the sword, dear listener. The destruction that is created therein, that is created therewith, is fantastic and beautiful and divine. And the sword which heals is the sword which cuts. Some can cut to fruition and some can cut to defeat. You simply have to determine the angle of your strokes to determine the depth of your victory. Will you cut away the very thing that saves you, or will you cut away the thing which destroys you? You have entirely too much control at times, dear listener, over where your sword cuts. At times, you would be better left up to the divine to determine where to swing your sword, where to cut from your flesh, because at times you are too hasty in your strikes, and you seek to separate bone from marrow and from flesh, thinking that it will save you, but it will not. Sometimes the arm which aches is not the arm which is causing a problem. Sometimes the arm which aches is simply relaying information to you to let you know there is a problem. Do not be quick to assume that the thing causing the problem in your life is the source of the issue. It may simply be a symptom of a deeper cause. Dear listener, you must consider this always as you progress through life, as you progress through increasingly harrowing journeys that require a deeper depth perception and a higher tolerance for light and shadow. You must understand, not all is always as it seems. Sometimes what seems opulent and beautiful and impressive on the surface is actually constrictive, dangerous, and dark deep below. And sometimes vice versa. What seems dark and elusive and dangerous is actually light, alchemized shadow into beauty. Dear listener, don't be overwhelmed by this amount of detail and by the becoming of your understanding of your intuition now. Your intuition now develops quite beautifully and helps guide you along the path to your destiny. Your destiny is not one that is carved in the stars, but is burned brightly in it, because your destiny lives. To imply that something is carved in stone implies that it is difficult to change and it cannot be changed. But your destiny burns brightly, where at times it can be a blowtorch, lighting and setting everything around it on fire, depending upon its direction, of course. Then at other times, it has gone out completely, and people wonder what has happened to it. Don't you at times, dear listener, wonder what has happened to your mission at times? So take this in mind, that your destiny burns brightly, and you determine the dimness or brightness thereof. At times there will be a natural gradation, yes, but often it is your pursuit of it, it is your tolerance of it, is your defense, it is your engaging with it that determines the brilliance of it. One can choose to see their destiny as a ladybug on a branch and choose not to engage with it, dear listener. There are many that do. There are many that feel the call deep within themselves to push forward, to break free, to become something other than what they are. And they shy away from it in fear, dear listener, because they are afraid of their becoming. They are afraid of what they do not know. They are afraid of a reality different than the one they inhabit. But there are some, like you, dear listener, who reach forward and extend a fingertip to the ladybug they discover on the branch, and the ladybug reveals to them things that were hidden in their world of understanding before. They brighten their vision. They spread their red and black spotted wings in order to show their true wings which lay beneath, because the real wings are not the hard outer shell, dear soul, dear villain, dear hero, but they are the soft, delicate, almost rubbery things that lie within. So just as in before, where I said do not be deceived by outward appearances, I say it here again, that what you might have perceived at first to be the wings or the understanding, the truth of it may actually be less bold, less brilliant, less blue than you had envisioned. So allow at all times an accommodation for your understanding to expand, dear soul. Allow at all times a beautiful vision to take shape before you, and be open to the becoming of it. It is nothing you have done wrong. It is not in any lack of creation on your account, dear soul. It is simply in your advancement, in your progressing, that you create things day by day, bit by bit, that help piece together your destiny to create the ultimate creation which you came here to make. I see you now as a brilliant camel running across the desert, dear soul. You are the one with two humps, because you have two opportunities you carry within yourself. You are able to achieve both. You are able to alchemize for both. But which do you choose to do, dear listener? Some people will alchemize one and forever remain humpbacked with the other. But should you choose to alchemize both, you will become as a horse, dear soul, and it will become much easier for others to saddle you, others to ride you, others to shelter you, care for you, but also domesticate you. There is a certain freedom in it, isn't there, dear soul, when you have two soul missions that you are inquiring about, that you are setting out upon. It is a brilliant misdirection when you can simply do one and then run around forever being chased by wings of freedom as you refuse to do your final soul mission. But once you do both, dear listener, and you become the horse, there is fear within you that I sense, that you will be tamed, you will be justified, you will be shut up in a boarding stall. Perhaps you'll be used to breed other horses. You'll be forced to teach others what you know. You'll be forced to perform for others. But it is not this way. This is simply a matter of perspective. There are so many things coming your way, dear soul, and it's up to you to decide how much of yourself you are willing to give to the world. You came here to give quite a lot, and yet you also at any point in time have the choice to not alchemize these things and to keep them, retain them within you. Some people find this brings them a greater sense of power because there is a certain amount of humility and embarrassment that comes in sharing our gifts, in peeling open the humps on our back to share with others. But, dear soul, don't let this dissuade you from becoming the horse that you were meant to be, because a horse is truly free when it gallops across the plains. The camel is confined to the desert, but the horse is free to roam upon the grass and the mountainside. I would have you transmute the pain from this journey that you have carried, from this harsh desert you have walked, into a lilac bush, into a small pond, perhaps a koi pond, into a waterfall, into dandelions, into beautiful visions of spring and summertime. I would have you leave behind the harsh desert landscape you came from and transform and transmute yourself into something more able to survive in a gentle environment. There are those who are not comfortable doing so, because it is true that the horse cannot survive in the desert the same way that the camel can. But I promise you that should you deliver your gifts to the world, dear soul, you will not be left destitute in a desert. You have no need to prepare to be without ever again. You have no need to prepare of what to do if you found yourself surrounded by a difficult environment, because I am helping to transmute these things for you also on your behalf, so that you may freely roam across the desert into the grassy plains, into the forests, where you will be more free, dear listener. And you never have to leave these grassy forests if you desire. But you must shed the weight of these humps that you carry upon your back, of these soul gifts, these missions you have to share with the world, before you can fully embrace your journey to become a horse. Because, dear listener, not all horses are tame. There are many who roam free. So if you would like to be a free horse, you can. If you would like to be a horse that others keep and feed and pray for and pay for and enjoy their time with, and that you coexist alongside humanity, this is also something you can do. If you would like to just never see humanity again, this is also an option. Perhaps you would like to live somewhere where there aren't many people around you. But, dear listener, until you sacrifice your soul missions for the good of humanity, by sacrifice here, what I mean is until you deliver them, until you take these humps from off your back and deliver them to the world as they were meant to be consumed, meant to be used for the benefit of humanity, it is not a loss to you, dear listener. These soul missions have created you into the shape that you were. You had to be as a dromedary in order to contain these soul missions. You had to be as a camel to carry them across harsh deserts and unforgiving environments where these soul missions were too fragile to be left to their own devices. But now you are reaching the end of your course, dear listener, and the time is coming where you are to make good to your promises that you've made to yourself before you incarnated here, which is to share these beautiful gifts with the world. You have unique insights, dear listener, from your many past lives and from your lived experiences in this life. So many insights to share with the world. It is up to you to create a world, to create a utopia in which these insights can coexist with others' insights, with the beauty of humanity, and help make the world a better place for others, and in so doing, make it a better place for you. I don't intend for you to do these things out of pure unselfishness. It would be silly to think that everyone should live only for everyone else and to the exclusion of themselves. I simply want you to live for you, and also in so living for you, desire a comfortable world for everyone else who can enjoy and benefit as well. Because in this way, you have also benefited from the kindness of strangers you have never met. So be as one of these many strangers, as a star in the sky, and share your gifts with the world, dear listener. Share your beautiful dromedary humps with the world that you have held on to for so far in your journey. Because as far as you have held on to these humps, they have drained you, they have depleted you. You have felt more wealthy because of them, but until you actualize them, dear listener, you must drink and eat enough food, enough liquids and nourishment in order to maintain their health. So as I see them, they are almost become as a cancerous tumor cell on your body, something that is a weight to you now, that used to be fun and enjoyable, but now is a burden, because you feel that they are to belong to the world. You feel that they are to transition to the next state of their being, and in so doing, you will transition with them. So, dear listener, be as the horse that is running free across the plain. Do not be afraid to shed these humps. Do not be afraid to leave behind the deserts that you have come from. Do not be afraid to embrace the multidimensionality of your existence. Do not be afraid to accept the gifts the divine is giving you. You may see a sign as a hummingbird, or bumblebee that crosses your path, and that across your way, it makes you think of the channeling you listened to here today. These things I say all for your benefit, all for your learning, for your education. I simply exist here as a being who's existed for a very long time and seen many humans come and go. You can take my advice or you can choose not to, but I will be watching on your journey to help you alchemize many, many things that will be coming your way. I am the great destroyer. I am able to destroy many boulders in place of your path that prevent you from getting to your destination, even the very boulders that you perceive great value in and the ones you have placed great hopes upon. I can help you to break them down and see them for the reality of what they are, and in so doing, transport the most valuable essences of these lessons into a transportable container for your next journey. Okay, so now it's me again. So I was Shiva. I got pretty deep into the channeling there. It took a second to come out of it. Um, Yep, I don't even remember all of what he said. So, yeah, so hopefully you guys can get some benefit out of Shiva's message. And I don't really know what else to say. I'm pretty tired from the channeling, to be honest. It was a bit more intense than I thought it was going to be. So I think I'm just going to call it here and upload this for y'all. If this is something that you enjoy, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. If this resonates for you, tell me about it in the comments. I always love to hear how it resonates for you guys. But I will just keep channeling either way, whether I hear from you or not, because a lot of spirit and the deities and all them have a lot to say for you. So hope this finds you well. And until next time, bye.